Original versus fake Xbox controller. But which one is actually better? The best thing about budget gaming is that you can get a lot of gaming accessories at a reasonable price. But purchasing these accessories from some random brands has their own downsides. In a past video, I have shown you this close-shoot wireless gamepad. In that particular video, we looked at the pros and cons of this budget controller. Pros of this controller being its price, battery life and looks. By looks, you can clearly say that it is a close copy of Xbox One controller. But the looks can be deceiving, as in that video we have seen some questionable build quality and wireless connectivity issues with this controller. So today we have this Xbox Series X controller, which is approximately 4 times the price of this close-shoot wireless gamepad. Now the question here arises is that how much better is this original Xbox controller in comparison to this Claw controller? And does spending extra money really improve your gaming experience? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to another episode of Gaming Discussions. So as I said earlier, today we are going to compare our budget Claw controller to this Xbox Series X controller. A quick disclaimer, I have borrowed this controller for this review and I don't personally own it. But still I have managed to use it for a while and found out some key differences between both that I want to share with you people. And secondly, this video is mostly dedicated to PC gamers. The suggested controllers from this video may or may not work with cross-platform gaming consoles or mobile phones. So without any further ado, let's start this review with the unboxing of our controllers. Unboxing is the first time when you can feel the absolute difference between the quality of these two controllers. While the Claw controller was using a cheap simple cardboard box with poor packaging, this Xbox controller has some premium quality packaging. The box shows a clean picture of the controller and its technical features. Now let's proceed with the unboxing further. As you open the box, it presents you with the controller itself. Other controller accessories and paperwork can be found underneath this plastic mount. For controller accessories, we have a USB-A to C cable. And finally, this paperwork like user manual, warranty information, and this booklet from Microsoft. And this completes our unboxing. Now let's continue with the controller. All the face buttons are clicky and feel great. Thumbsticks are good and tight too. Definitely usable in hardcore gaming conditions. On the back we have our shoulder buttons, this USB-C charging port and this Xbox sync button. And here in the front we have a headphone jack and this port which I think used for connecting chat pads with the controller. Here is the Xbox branding and finally the battery compartment. Don't know why Microsoft still hates rechargeable batteries. Anyways, this controller could also be used as a wired controller if you don't want to use the batteries. So after putting the batteries in, let's turn it on. Here this Xbox logo will blink until you pair this controller with your PC or console. As I said earlier, this controller can also be used as a wired controller, so let's connect it by a USB-A to C cable. As it is connected to the PC, this Xbox light has stopped blinking. Let's move on to PC itself to see how it works. In your PC, you have to download this Xbox Accessories application from Microsoft Store to configure your controller. As you connect your controller wired or by Bluetooth, it will show up in this Xbox Accessories app. Here you can customize the buttons, install firmware updates and control other features of this controller. Now since we have our first look at this controller and its features, let's compare it to its budget copy. The A, B, X and Y keys of both the controllers are almost the same. Both are clicky and good, but the quality of plastic of Xbox's buttons is slightly higher here. The D-pad on Xbox controller is super clicky, whereas Claw's D-pad is super mushy. The tension of analog sticks is a bit loose on Claw in comparison to Xbox controller. The analog sticks of Xbox controller are super high quality as they offer these grips, whereas the analog sticks of Claw are thin and super cheap. Luckily, neither of them has stick drift issues of any kind. The difference between triggers is day and night. Xbox controller has super high quality triggers with actual rumble motors in them, whereas Claw has these cheap hollow triggers with super loose tension. Bumpers of both are somewhat similar, however, both have good and clicky bumpers. The Claw controller is a bit thicker than its Xbox counterpart. It will take a while to get adapted to its shape if you have smaller hands. To compensate for this uncomfortable shape, Claw offers these soft rubber grips which come in handy during long gaming sessions. Talking about long gaming sessions, both the controllers are capable of hours of gaming. The only downside with Xbox controller here is that you either have to play wired or you have to pay extra to buy its play and charge kit. On the other hand, Claw has an inbuilt rechargeable battery which gives approximately 10 hours of backup on a single charge. But the Claw isn't perfect though. As I mentioned in my previous video that this Claw controller has some severe random connectivity issues, where this controller gets disconnected randomly during the gaming sessions. To fix this problem, the controller needs to face directly towards its receiver. If there is some kind of obstacle between the receiver and the controller, then it will stutter and disconnect randomly. Another problem with the Claw is that it only works wirelessly, which means that if you lose its receiver, then you are in big trouble. Despite having all these issues, there is no input lag of any kind in either of these controllers while playing wirelessly. Lastly, talking about the rumble feedback. Rumble vibrations on both feel almost the same. The Xbox controller offers extra rumble motors in its triggers, but the trigger rumble didn't end up working in most of PC games that I have tested. The only way to actuate the trigger rumble is through the Xbox Accessories app, but having these rumble motors in the triggers make them perfectly weighted in comparison to empty hollow triggers of Claw, which feels cheap. So, does spending 4 times extra money on an original Xbox controller makes any sense? Don't get me wrong here, the Claw controller has no match to the Xbox controller, but for approximately 4 times the money, I don't think the Xbox controller adds any extra functionality. If you want a top-notch premium gaming experience, then by every means you can go for it. But if you are a budget gamer, then I don't think you should spend that much extra money on an original Xbox controller. In place of the original Xbox controller, you can try some reputed third-party controllers for gaming on budget. It will save you money while providing nearly identical experience to an original Xbox controller. Sometimes these third-party developers even offer pro controller lineups with extra programmable buttons for nearly half the price of the original Xbox controller. And lastly, avoid this Claw controller too. No doubt it is a budget controller, but it has too much poor build quality and severe connectivity issues. Anyways, I will leave the links of all the controllers that you have seen in this video in the description. If you are interested, then you can check them out from there. That's it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, then remember to leave a like and hit the subscribe button to never miss any future episodes of gaming discussions. I will catch you guys later here in another episode of gaming discussions. Thanks for watching. I'm signing off.